fighter jet from the Soviet Union. The MiG-29 Fulcrum belongs to the fourth generation. Different designs of aircraft are used in this conflict, including jet fighters used in the former Soviet Union. This is particularly noticeable in terms of the woman's slim, seductive, and off-putting physique. The MiG-29 Fulcrum was built with the speed, agility, and modern missiles necessary to defeat any NATO member aircraft during its design phase. But regrettably, following its creation, the MiG-29 was frequently derided due to its antiquated electronics, short lifespan, and range-limited operation, as well as in particular because of its black, smoky engine, where the smoke even outperformed the dark Metro Mini diesel emissions. And the restricted technology that was available to the Soviet Union during the MiG-29 development phase in the 1970s, the MiG-29 was eventually designed by the Soviet Union using a combination of manipulation aircraft engineering design combat generation 4th with device hard generation 3rd. Low relative pricing makes it possible. Combat interest in aviation is expanding, especially in client nations like the Soviet Union. Sales then quickly declined, however, as a result of competition from the Sukhoi Su-27 flanker, which came from a separate mother and father's family. This flanker is a fighter aircraft that is highly advanced, frequently created, and popular on the global market. But in the end, the MiG-29 Fulcrum is guaranteed to continue operating for a while to come because it currently has the most recent upgrades that can fix a lot of its flaws, leading some countries to purchase it. The MiG-29 was first created in 1974. The MiG-29 was designed to become a combat-light multirole sophisticated aircraft that can operate from Field Air Spartan in line front of the Cold War, while the Su-27, which was also then under development, will handle mission distance far away. This was in line with Soviet Air Force doctrine at the time. This high-low fighter concept was developed concurrently for the U.S. Air Force with the F-16 and F-15, both of which have strong structural designs. After a protracted period of development, the first MiG-29 began to operate in 1982, a year and a half after the F-16 began to operate on August 17, 1978, the 33rd anniversary of the Republic of Indonesia. NATO provided the name password for aircraft from the prefix F, Fulcrum, similar to other aircraft used in Soviet Union air warfare. The MiG-29 Fulcrum has a terrifying reputation in the West as a Soviet-developed aircraft from the height of the Cold War, and it even has its own computer game. This is doubly so because analysts in the West can only make educated guesses because the data about the plane has not yet been made available. Finally, Western pilots had plenty of opportunities to fly, test fly, and compete against the MiG-29 in the 1990s because Force Air German Unity accepted several MiG-29s as a heritage from German East. The USAF has purchased two 21 MiG-29 aircraft from Moldova. They discovered that the Fulcrum is an extremely combat-capable aircraft, but they also discovered that the Fulcrum has severe weaknesses. The second RD-33 turbofan engine, which served as the MiG-29's power supply, can accelerate quickly and reach a top speed of Mach 2.25. This makes the MiG-29 faster than the F-16, but slightly slower than the older F-15 Big. Of course, other elements like air and weather also play a role in this. The key attribute of the MiG-29 that made it renowned is its remarkable maneuverability. Even under adverse circumstances, it is likely to surpass the more agile F-16 Light. The fact that the MiG-29 is more agile than any NATO aircraft from the early 1990s, and that lucky NATO pilots may train against Fulcrum Force Air is discovered by German researchers. Keep in mind that the WVR combat has poor speed, because that is BVR technology and NATO's honing capabilities, which are extraordinary. Similar to his sibling, the Sukhoi Su-27, the MiG-29 is a super maneuverable fighter that can perform maneuvers that aren't conceivable with standard aerodynamic control. Additionally, this plane had a very high angle of attack, AOA. He was able to perform hard maneuvers at speed with the aid of the airframe's aerodynamic design, almost stalling. The MiG-29 Fulcrum's short weapon missile range and R-73 technology are further benefits. NATO code AA-11 Arrow. The helmet-mounted weapons sight is a technology used to fire and steer missiles that may lock on their target. Typically, an aircraft must lock onto a hostile aircraft by pointing its nose in its direction. With the R-73 missile, the pilot merely needs to look right or left to see the target 620 degrees away from the nose of the aircraft and then fire the missile in that direction. The AIM-9X Sidewinder, developed by Force American Air alone, began operations in 2003, many years after the MiG-29. Along with the R-73, the Fulcrum has additional R-60 missiles that are older and can be hooked at 7 locations, as well as the medium-range R-27 missile. The most recent version also includes a remote R-77 missile shooter. Unfortunately, the weapon's carrying capacity is just 4 tons, which is much less than an aircraft of his class. Only 7.5 tons are allowed for the F-16, Block 50 seconds. Superiority is crucial next. The MiG-29 is made to be operated from a base without any specific preparation for base aircraft warfare. Possibilities include the runway that the Russian tank division from Germany secured, or even the street that was designated as an emergency base route. Because of this, the air intake is shielded against FOD by a unique door that closes when an aircraft takes off or lands. In a newer version, such as the MiG-35 door, this was replaced with a FOD screen. That's all there is to the fighter MiG-29 Fulcrum's advantages. Let's now talk about the negatives, because, in the writer's friend's opinion, Nyakat is undoubtedly more entertaining.